Hey, good morning. Welcome. This is not only a brand new week, well, a brand new day and a brand new week, and almost a brand new month, but we're starting on a really new, to most of you, um, focus and I'm going to say an adventure on the quantum, since that's what we do here. We whisper on the quantum. and we are being called to work now on a planetary level. And for those of you who are able to join us on Saturday, you could really feel into how we are being guided to do that. Um, and I will put that video out soon. It's going to there's a few little things in there I want to take out, so it's going to take a little bit of work. That said, welcome, and we are going to begin. See if I can get this to shift. There we go. Okay. We are going to start working with the wall of Maya, the wall of fog, with the Christalis Code mudras. And as I've shared with you before, many years ago, I think it was about 13 years ago, we activated this process in our own pavilion by actually using movement to move through what we symbolically call the wall of fog, the wall of Maya, the wall of illusion, the wall of that which we can't see, but it just kind of grabs us and creates reactivity. And the interesting thing is the Maya usually creates more Maya. So if I am re-stimulated about something and I go and go mental, for instance, then some of the things I do, some of the actions that I do can actually harm other people, or it can activate other people. So it's this kind of continual process of creation. And then those of us who do work with our personal evolution, we're clearing it all the time. But you know, hopefully we get to the point where we have enough cleared that we can really actively work on the quantum as such as we're doing. Okay. Now, I wanted just to review for us. Most of you know these, but I wanted to put them there. And I do think I'll move this so we can see here all the symbols. And just remembering, and if you haven't done this in a while, get out your Christalis mudras for those of you who have that. If you're new to this, I wanted to give everybody kind of a connection to what we're doing. These mudras being energy activators on the quantum, just by assuming that mudra of the Buddha palms, it activates that pulse that Buddha holds, which is freedom from Maya, actually. So as we let's see here, as we go from each of these, click through, we get Fatih, Shuangduan, Sanat Kumara, Tara. Some of these are familiar names. Some of them are new names to us. I had to wait very patiently to get these names and some of them. But we can all recognize that which they put forth. And the whole idea with these frequencies are that Buddha didn't suddenly manifest on the earth plane embodied. Siddhartha was born, was a prince, got the message to go out traveling, and did. And one day sat, as legend has it, sat under the Bodhi tree and became Buddha through very powerful experience. the other one that we know about is Christos. And Christos was initiated as an avatar into his Jeshua, who we know is in English is Jesus, but Jesus the Christ or Jesus Christ. And so we're very familiar with all these, and we are going to kind of review these from time to time as we go into this journey of being able to dissipate on the quantum as a group, the Maya. Okay, we went and looked into these before, but it was a very interesting week last week. I was charged with going through and coming up with at least the mudras to be used for the other 200. This is the first 200 that I worked on over one of our evacuations that we had to make from local fires, and I had to be out of the area and out of our home for a while. So I worked on this, all 200 of these, and with not only the mudras that are required, but also, what was the energy behind things. And we'll come back to these. Actually, I want to show you two things, because first of all, before we go on to the other 200 that I worked on this week, the interesting thing here is to see these are conditions. This is what happened to someone, and these are the behaviors that they took on, that they began to manifest on the earth plane. And I was riding with a friend of mine. We do a bike ride every Friday, and she was sharing with me that she really wanted to know what was going on. And so she read two books, one by an Israeli, and I forget the name, very well-known book. And the other one was by the originator of Hamas, trying to get like what's going on with Hamas. And it turns out that Hamas himself, Mr. Hamas, did not start this move. It was a movement towards freedom from dictatorship, not against Jews or Christians, etc. But eventually, he actually became a Christian because of a number of things that happened. And when she was sharing this with me, she was saying that, in a way, there is an aspect of Hamas that glorifies suicide, so that as one goes into these situations, they know they're probably going to get killed, and they're doing it because of this some kind of noble reason, which really is somebody in leadership being controlling. And so on Sunday, I suddenly grew very, very tired as I was thinking about what we were going to be doing today. And I was overcome with this wave of fatigue for no reason. And when I get that wave of fatigue, I know it's time to come and employ one of the clearings for these Mayas. And what came through was suicide. And I thought, wow, gee, do I have that inclination? And there was actually a moment in my life where I felt very, 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 very down. And I had those thoughts and feelings. And I knew enough to speak to someone, and I also knew enough to clear. And it was just something that I had to go through to understand and feel it. So today we're going to address suicide. Wow. So these two are very interesting, because if you have been controlled and you commit suicide or have an inclination towards it, wants vindication. I mean, isn't that interesting? Once vindication. The second one we're going to do is once to punish. So there's this feeling of a controlled installation of hate, power over, as we've seen, which is also in this column here, power over others. And what it produces is these young men in the prime of their life. That's what this book was saying. In the prime of their life, they're being instigated to go and be suicidal, potentially. And we do know that there are suicide bombers and things like that. So this is what we're going to be working on. And I wanted to give you this, this whole chart here. And I'm going to just make sure that I move here. Okay, so we're going to go through these. On these, there was too much, not enough time, but I have all of the other 200, and these are being included, so you can pause your video and take a look at these if you decide to do this work. And if you can tune in, or if you get a feeling about something, what you can do is muscle test and then find the one that makes the most sense. And then you can do these mudras, and you can do it for yourself, or you can do it for the quantum. I've done it for other people. Here's the last 20. And I'll move this for you so you see these guys here. Okay. So now we move on. And today, again, as I said, we're going to address the Maya of suicide. Once vindication. And we're going to see Tara Athabascar and Ka-10. Tara Athabascar and Ka-10. We know about Tara. Athabascar is form, and Ka-10 is infinity, and has to do with the infinity of spirit, the reaching into the known, the unknown, and the unknowable. And so in doing this process, we're going to just take a moment and tune into ourselves first. And if you've ever had that inclination, please tune into it now. At that moment, perhaps, of desperation that you might have felt. And then we reach into that energetic field that goes behind, that is behind this wall of fog, this dream of illusion that we partake in daily. And we're reaching beyond that, but to do that, we're reaching through this particular vibration of Maya. Once vindication. So the first one that we will utilize is Tara. And Tara is really bringing together the thumb and the index finger. And the right points upwards and the left points to actually a little bit forward. And if, when you're doing this, you can slightly rotate them clockwise towards your right shoulder, it empowers the mudra. as we rotate, we're moving very slowly and judiciously through this frequency. It's a very heavy and serious frequency. We're starting to get a clearing now. Just a bit of light coming through from the other side. And then we allow Tara's frequency to hold while we move to the next one, which is Athabascar. And this one is very good to pulse slightly forward, Athabascar. It's a frequency, an avatar frequency that has the power to reformat 3D density into 7D. So pulsing, pulsing, pulsing. And we're reaching out in this pulse for a movement to higher frequency. So with Terra being transcendence, moving upward and through the density, this is a reformatting. And pulse, pulse. Another possibility being offered. And this reformatting, as we're moving through this wall of fog, actually appears to be our 5D formatting. And then releasing that mudra, we move to the next one. Katen. So Katen is intent. The intent to reconfigure towards something that actually is for the good of all, rather than for vindication. And so this middle part of your finger, you bring those together, they match up. The thumb comes behind the index and middle fingers, and you form a little place for that infinity symbol to be. Okay. And there's a slight movement, moving the hands slightly away from each other and then back. It's a pulse. And that pulse of activation. Intent to do good for the good of all. Reformatting. What would it be like to realize this is not for the good of all? This is not what God would want. Or Allah, Jehovah, or. Presenting this triad of mudras as sign language, if you will, as a reformatting possibility, as a sacred word. You just release that mudra and dip into when you remove something. This is true. I want to remind us all. When you let go of something or dissolve something or dissipate something that is harmful, say, to yourself or others, it's really important that we fill that vacuum with love, 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 and peace. And so find your inner love, 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 your strongest love, 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 and pulse it now into this place in the wall of Maya. Love, love, love. Love yourself. Love the divine. Love others. Love yourself. Love the divine. Love others. And that love has to do with honoring the life force that this presence gave to you to be of service to the good of all in whatever way your soul purpose has designed for you. Love, 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 love. Feel that sense of inner peace that is yours to claim at any given moment. And I'm laughing because the card for today is Stingray. It's discover peace and calm. How appropriate. Love, love. So we continue our breakdown of this format in this reality. Possibility of suicide. You know, there are very few animals that engage in that. They just don't. Why do we as humans have this formatting. Many reasons. But it is Maya. So in this suicide 14.3, the expression is wants to punish. And that's pretty profound because one could think of, well, if I kill myself, that's going to punish you. But in this way, if I kill myself, I might kill you. That's my intent, right? So here we have Shuang Duan, Bosa, and Buddha. And so now we go to Vosa, and with Vosa, Vosa's power. So as we know, we can interpret this in many, many ways. The power to take away life, the power to give life. The power to be the best you can be, the power over. So with this mudra, peace sign, right? Peace sign, right? Bring the two index fingers together. Pull the power of peace into this wall. Vosa. This power gives us the strength to say no. No to the thoughts. No to the commands. The control over us by others. There you go. Good job. And shifting to Shui. These rotate towards each other to spin those vortexes. This is sentience. The click through of knowledge, like, oh, yes, I don't need to engage this way. The sentience of self. Sentience of a link to the divine. And even as we engage with Shuang Duan, which sentience through this mudra, there's a certain inner empowerment that begins to move through. The empowerment of choice. The aha. The realization of self. clearing through to that 5D frequency. So we're not just clearing the Maya, we're making breakthroughs into that new earth, that 5D new earth. Lovely. And then Buddha, right hand up, left hand moves under the heart. He pulls that right hand forward. Freedom to be, freedom to self-realize, freedom from world Maya, freedom from the messaging. Again, the love, love, love begins to pulse through as the constant. Finally, sometimes what we do is we end with Sanat Kumara, which is source. So middle fingers just touch and the other fingers slightly pull away, and just put that on your solar plexus and link to source. Source of all, the oneness, that which is. Feel your connection to this to the source and to this 5D field whenever you can. Just, it's a lot to get through all the Maya in the world right now. It's gotten way heavier in some ways. Whenever you can, consult the Maya and clear. And finally, what we want to do, of course, what we're up to here is we're up to love, love, love. And if you can remember to say it when things feel the hardest, that's the most empowered for the planet and you. It's easy for us to say now when you're going through something. Love, love, love inside. And then when you get to that spot, just peace, 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 pulsing peace. Be the peace and live to love. These are the things that are coming through for us. Live to love. Pulse through that Maya. Be the peace, live to love. What could be better? And you know what? You're going to forget from time to time. In that traffic jam or that boss that says something to you, but then you come back to this. I know you will, because you come back here every week. And finally, I am love. I am peace. Mm. And namaste. Love and blessings to you. Love working with this and all of you. Thank you for joining me on the quantum today. This will build up. I don't expect to see results, but the energy is going to build up. It's going to take some weeks and some months, but we're going to see some shifts. And my hope, heartfelt hope, is that there's other things that are brewing and they never come to fruition. So let's keep working here. Thank you for joining us.